Hello Internet, James Allen from Out of 8, and today I'm playing space adventure game Ziggfrack. It's a single-player game where you primarily undergo a series of missions, as you'll see. Space shooter, get better weapons and stuff like that. Very combat-focused. Almost every single mission is full of combat. Occasionally there's things that you have to trigger, but almost every mission is all combat, so... Pick up where I left off. The controls primarily use the mouse to steer, and also use a little RPG style command toolbar in the bottom, as you can see there. So you can take a look around, steer with the mouse, see various space stations and stuff. Game doesn't really have the living world that a lot of other space adventure games have. You notice there's basically few ships in here. There's a couple that are, going at it and actually shooting me in the process. So, kind of engage them here a little bit. But it's not like tons of ship like in something like Independence War or something along those lines. So got him. See if there's anybody else. That guy. Basically, I'm holding down spacebar, which fires all your weapons at once. And I'll show you my weapons here as soon as I get these guys out of here. Get these guys taken care of. The F3 button has a little shield disruptor, which I'll use here in about 3 seconds here. There we go. We'll destroy his shield so I can take care of his hull. There we go, got him disabled. Shoot. There we go. Alright, so I think that's all the enemies except for that guy. Oh yeah, the guy that's right in front of me shooting me. I'll take care of you, buddy. Seems to be kind of a dangerous area here. I'm going to kind of circle strafe him. So you can see there's some other friendly ships that are engaging him too, other than myself. This makes life a lot easier. I'm going to take down his shield some more. There we go, got him disabled, so he should blow up here pretty quick. There we go. Let's see if any of this stuff gets sucked into that singularity. Swarm drone. I got some stuff picked up. Alright, anyway. Got it unopened. Got some loot. Alright, so let's see if I can actually... Where's the swarm drone? Is that him? Oh, there he is. Alright. Have a shield boost there. Drops little objects every once in a while that'll boost your shields and whatnot. Oh, that was it. Alright. So now I can actually show you the stuff. Has a very extensive list of weapons. This is your inventory you bring up with the I key. So it has all these different types of weapons. It basically falls into pulse, ballistic, and rocket, mine, rail, beam, flak, and drones. And each of these have special properties on it. You can see the little icons show what the properties are. What's cool is that each of these has a limited ammunition. Like this one has 142 shots in that proton chamber. But once you deplete the ammo, it'll actually automatically replace it. Now, it won't automatically replace it with what's best. It seems to be kind of semi-random. It might have to do with the order that they're in your little tree, although I don't think you can reorder it. But it's nice that you don't have to go in and manually restock everything every 5 seconds when you run out of stuff. So, like the stock-guided missiles aren't very interesting, so I'm going to change these to something more intriguing. You can see each of these have usually some sort of special property in addition to their basic damage, as you can see as I kind of scroll through these. So those are your weapons. And then you also can upgrade your engines and your defensive things. I don't think I have another overdrive. No, I don't. Basically, all that the bases are good for, I'll dock with this by pressing enter, is some of them have vendors. This one doesn't, for whatever reason. Let's see if I can dock with somebody who does. There's probably a supply station there. Crafting. So you can craft stuff. There we go, supply station, dock with you. There you go, visit vendor. So it's loading up all the items he has. So I needed an overshield, so you know they come at a price. Which actually that price isn't too bad. 15,000 trade credits. How much do I have? 175,000. Yeah, I think I might just buy this. There we go. And then I'll just leave the vendor and equip that. So you get a good amount of credits. You can basically buy whatever you want. And then you can have a bank where you like stores your stuff as you do that. So basically, you know, there isn't really side missions to do. There are some randomly generated missions that pop up every once in a while, but it isn't like you visit stations and they have a big long list of missions to do. They go randomly. You're basically tied to the couple of campaign missions you have available to you. So there's no trade or anything like that. But there are a lot of items you can use to equip your ship, as I saw. So let me just do this mission, the next one in the campaign. Pull up my map. If you click on this, it'll zoom to where you can go, and then you just press J to jump. And you jump, and then you just follow the directions. So here we are. So I gotta find the Lost Guardian and scan it. There he is. I'm using WASD to kind of move around. Blah, blah, blah. There isn't any voice acting or anything, but that's okay. And then just continue, continue. Dock with them and demand answers. Alright, so you press enter to dock. Why me? And, you know, a little bit of conversation choices here. Are we done? And then back to over here. Oh, hey. I'm gonna shoot you dead. Join the attack. So, like I said, you know, some storyline stuff followed by combat against usually a pretty high foe, I would say. Combat isn't honestly that interesting. I'm basically just holding down spacebar, and then whenever it lets me, I use my little shield disruptor thing. And then I got purple things. I got some health packs that I don't actually need yet. Let's see, health pack, yeah. So you don't have to, like, it automatically fires. Like, I can be firing over here, but it'll still automatically go towards your enemy. So there isn't really any skill involved in the combat. So it's actually pretty bland and honestly somewhat tedious because all the enemies you encounter are usually really, really strong. So, just kind of unloading on this guy. Sure, I'll use that. Except I don't have a ballistic thing. And then crazy stuff will happen. And now I'm getting shot. You know, basically what happens is that I'm getting shot some more. Hi. Void spawn. Luckily, death is not really that big of a deal in this game because I've died kind of a lot. There isn't really a difficulty setting. Back to the void spawn. There you are. Alright. Watch out for that singularity. Back to you, Void Mother. So, you know, these people are very high shield, high level stuff. And it just takes a long time to beat them. Like, overshield is kind of not great. And this is basically the game. It's fly to a sector, click a couple things. Sometimes you'll dock with something. Sometimes you'll have to activate something, and then you just fight a boss or a bunch of ships. I can grab this health pack, actually. So, I mean, that's the game. It's pretty limited in its scope, which is pretty disappointing. You know, it doesn't offer varied career paths or really a lot of stuff to do other than the pretty linear campaign missions. You know, there's some randomly generated stuff, but usually they're just fly here and go kill this guy type stuff too. Oh, there we go. You know, there's basically nothing you can do to avoid fire. You know, so I'm not really using any tactics right now at all. You know, I'm just sitting here holding the button. There's no like chaff or ways of dodging missiles. You just get shot and you shoot them. You know, that's basically it. You do have the ability to cloak. Oh yeah, I always forget this. There we go. He's going to join the battle in about right now. There he goes. Hey, thanks. Oh, my ship's disabled. No, not anymore. I'm going to die already? Come on. You get enough ammo along the way that you can just basically just hold down everything. He's almost dead. You know, not even worry about ammo consumption. If I pause it here, you can see it's automatically switched to epic ammo and epic stuff. So, you know, without me having to do something, which is really nice. It cuts down, basically makes it no micromanagement, which is really nice. This guy needs to die soon. There we go. Thank you. There you go. That's the end of the mission. Choose an item. I use... What do I use? If there's one of your random missions, I'll do that next. Equipped weapons. I use tactical pulse. So I want the pulse. Grab bag. Thank you much. Let me grab all this stuff. Open my stuff. So I got some proton chambers. Grab this boombox thing. You know, you can see a bunch of missions. You know, you complete it and it opens up a bunch of new ones. I'll accept this asteroid thing. Oh gosh. Huh, that's funny. Wah 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 wah. Pew 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 pew. Okay, that's... I can actually mine that. I gotta do 40. No, that's a lot. There are a lot of references in the game, like pretty humorous references. Alright. Oh gosh, there's... Okay, well there's a lot of asteroids then. Got basically 5 minutes. I guess I'm getting hit by debris from blowing up the asteroids. Something. Alright, only got 10 more, basically. There we go. So, there's one of the random scenarios. I got some weapons out of that. And basically, this one's a nut, like, collect a bunch of objects, you know, that type of stuff. So, grab this loot. I mean, that's basically the game, and then you have 3 main campaign missions that you just go to the map and, you know, jump to it. So, you know, that's basically that. So, you know, I do like the... there's a couple random missions there. Or no, that's just the one. That was the one I clicked on. I do like the extensive specialty ammunition stuff. This is really interesting. So you get a lot of different types of ammo. I really like how it automatically replaces the ammo once you use it up, so you don't have to tediously swap back and forth. You know, it has a lot of modifiers with some interesting characteristics if you're, you know, we're into that sort of thing. Disappointed with the linearity of the game. You know, it's basically you're sticking to the campaign missions, whatever 1 to 3 it offers you at a time. And then the occasional randomized mission like the one I just did. There isn't any trade. You can do some mining and craft some things. You can actually go to the inventory and you can get templates that you can purchase and craft like warheads and stuff for your weapons, if you so choose. Controls are fine, mouse-driven, and WASD works just fine. You know, it's hard to find things in your inventory. Like if I wanted to find, you know, you have a filter so you can, you know, there's stuff with nuclear stuff. So, I mean, in that case, it's good. But one thing that it's really bad about is which of these pulse things is the best? And how does it compare to my currently equipped item? You know, in some RPGs, it shows, like, this detail next to the info window for that, so you can kind of compare the two. Here, it's a little bit... I guess this is where the tediousness is, going through and deciding which type of ammo might be the best. So that area of the interface could be improved. The combat is really blah. You know, it's just, you know, shoot, shoot, shoot. Hold down, fire all your weapons, and wait until the enemy dies. You know, there's no dodging weapons or, you know, location-specific shields or defensive mechanisms you can deploy. You know, you can cloak, but once you start fighting, you can't re-cloak until the battle's over. So there's no real depth in that area. So, I mean, basically it has a lot of items you can get, but the campaign is too linear and the combat is too bland for my taste. So, there you go. That's Ziggfrack. And that's all I have for today. So until next time, bye now.